Expensive battle passes, pop-up ads, and forced battle royale participation have disappointed hopeful Battlefield fans and earned Battlefield REDSEC, the game's new free-to-play battle royale mode, a mixed review rating on Steam. Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to have fun playing that anyway.
Yeah, that pretty much seems to be where the internet's at right now. There's a lot of people who are mad, and I think there's annoyances that justify that, and then other people who are either burned out or have found a way to turn that part of their brain off, and they're just having a good time blowing stuff up on the internet.
Yeah, that's how it goes. We'll get into it, but this seems a little overblown in my opinion. The real battle over REDSEC is not happening in the game. It is in those Steam reviews.
Yeah, players are catching a solid whiff of games as service from the Season 1 update to Battlefield 6. While, like we said, some others are just kind of shrugging it off as industry standard, or maybe even we're expecting these things to land anyway. And then instead celebrating that REDSEC is pretty fun, pretty approachable, and you can knock buildings down now. I don't know why that's not in Battlefield 6, but there it is.
There seem to be some players' major issues, so we'll go through these first. The game has a tiered battle pass that can be pricey. The standard battle pass costs $10, which is not so bad. Battlefield Pro, though, costs $25, and it includes just a kind of a strange spread of perks like random skins, a 5% XP boost, and an exclusive vehicle radio station, which are all kind of weird.
Yeah, the exclusive radio station kind of got me. I was like, man, they're digging deep right now. I didn't even know the vehicles had a radio. So there it is. Also, yeah, who would, I don't know. You're not going to stay in a vehicle long enough to hear like over a minute of any song. The annoyances with REDSEC continue. They've added a pop-up advertisement for the Battle Pass when the game launches. And boy, do I hate these. Consoles are doing these now. So it's at every step now playing a game, you have to bop out of some annoying pop-up. Oh boy, this gets under my skin.
Yeah, it is the worst, and it happens literally on everything. I use Wordle every day, and I get 3-4 pop-ups playing Wordle. And I'm like, don't make me stop playing Wordle. Steam user Rigsby summarized everyone's thoughts in a review saying, quote, "This whole Season 1 update feels like ad blocker stopped working."
Yeah, because it's not just on the pop-ups either. There's little boxes and advertisements everywhere now. And to round out players' frustrations, a group of players are unhappy that some of the game's challenges specifically require participation in the game's Battle Royale mode.
These challenges have been annoying to a lot of people for a long time. And I've actually spoken directly with EA and been like, hey, can you make these easier? And they're like, we're working on it, so we'll see. The challenges can be re-rolled too, but the re-rolls could also be Battle Royale challenges. So, I mean, you know, you're going to run into challenges that you don't want to do over and over and over in Battlefield 6.
Yeah, and you don't have to do them, but it is a video game, and what are you playing a video game for if not to fill up a meter? I don't know, I go both ways on this. And some players do too. Posting on the Battlefield subreddit, Monarch Core writes, "If I wanted to play a terrible, uninspired Battle Royale, I wouldn't have bought Battlefield."
Boom.
Boom.
Duty Force says they, quote, "Bought Battlefield 6 to play Battlefield. Bought Battle Pass for Battlefield 6. Look inside half of my weekly challenges for the Battle Royale that I will not be playing." So that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's also how you progress through the Battle Pass. You need XP. You get XP for doing challenges. It's got the requisite level of metagame around it, I guess. And like we said before, all of those concerns, the pop-up ads, the using challenges to force people to play different modes they may not want, it's all kind of congealing into this greater worry that Battlefield is already descending right into an overloaded, over-monetized games as service nightmare.
And yet, several positive Steam reviews insist these issues aren't that bad. Private S. Shibby recommends that, quote, "A bulk of the negative reviewers need to go back to Arma and or touch grass before complimenting the gameplay and shrugging off the, quote, industry standard Battle Pass offering."
Also, Rebel Vortex called REDSEC, quote, "a solid Battle Royale experience. Most negative reviews are just butthurt people about maps and challenges." I guess what I found interesting scrolling the reviews is how many positive reviews explicitly called out the negative ones. So there is a sort of conscious effort to fight review bombing happening in that, which is only remarkable to me because that means people care enough or had enough fun with REDSEC to give a shit. That they actually felt frustrated that people were review bombing the mode and felt compelled to defend it. So yeah, it's not often you get people that are, abnormally motivated to hate something, but are also actually having so much fun with it that they feel the need to pick up arms in the review wars. I don't know. I read a review from somebody who said they've never reviewed anything and they felt compelled to do this because of all the negativity, and then kind of spelled it all out in a pretty articulate review. So interesting dynamics happening in REDSEC right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of this is a weirdly complicated issue because at first I was like, It's a free-to-play. Just go play for free. Don't buy anything. Don't do the challenges. Do whatever you want in REDSEC, and then have fun or not. I don't care. However, I do say that the pop-ups in the game that I paid for, and then in addition to the challenges forcing me to go to play to free-to-play, that can get really annoying. So there's a lot of weird crossover here. I would say like a lot of the stuff that Battlefield is doing is very similar to a Fortnite. However, you paid money for Battlefield 6, and Fortnite is free, so that's the problem. And they're letting that free-to-play crossover with the paid aspect of Battlefield 6, and I think EA might be reaching a little too far, and they should have separated it a little better, because REDSEC is awesome. I think REDSEC is great. It's just like Warzone. I mean, really, truly, they have borrowed from Warzone, and I think it's really fun to play. Lawrence and I played it for hours a couple of days ago, and I had a blast. And I also think Battlefield 6 multiplayer and is just great. So they've really made a good game, and now, of course, EA is, shooting themselves in the foot with the monetization. It doesn't make the game worse, but it is going to slowly, very slowly, turn people off. And I hope that that doesn't happen. I hope that the developers at EA can push back the executives a little bit and be like, hey, we've made a good game. Just let it live on its own. You don't need to force all of us to do random challenges in a free-to-play and buy a battle pass and all that other bullshit that we have to stare at over and over when we load up the game.
Yeah, the separation of church and state there, I guess, between the free-to-play where you sort of, I think, accept some of this stuff, and the paid-for experience where you think you should have bought your way out of a lot of it. It's interesting that those worlds are merging now, and pretty quickly after launch, I think, is what gets under... It's what aggravates a lot of people, because yeah, you pay $70 for a game, and less than 3 weeks later, you're already getting hit with ads for $25 purchases. That just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't make you feel like your purchase went very far. And when they're pushing you to play free-to-play game modes in the game that you just bought, it kind of wrecks this perception that you have something that's more valuable than what's in the free-to-play game as well. So yeah, it starts to mess with your value perception of the game at all, or how you feel like you're being treated for being a full paying customer. And then to your point, Bruce, yeah, I would like some pushback, but man, there's gotta be a happy middle ground there between what EA's expectations are for this game, and they've invested pretty heavily into it. So unfortunately, I think the devil's trade-off is if you want more development time, you're gonna have to pledge earning more money, and then that starts to dictate the format of the game, which drives me to this inevitability that if you want, and I hope this isn't the case, and hopefully one day a company will prove me wrong, but if you want these huge scale, properly developed, launches without issues games, they kind of have to do this on the tail end to earn the amount of money that a corporation like EA is going to want to even fund it in the first place. So it kind of creates this cycle where the money dictates the format, and the format will always end up being this, or the game will just not succeed.
Man, no one wants to hear this, Lawrence, but you're absolutely right. That's the problem. The budget is rumored for Battlefield 6 to be like $400 million. It's like a lot of money. And they truly have spent the money on this game. The game is great. It launched without issues. They've launched a battle royale without issues. There's no server problems. The glitching is few and far between. So they truly spent the money, and they spent a lot of time and dev time on this to make the game good. But Lawrence is right. They're going to monetize the hell out of us now because they have to pay for the budget of the game. And so it's this really weird, I could understand the complaints about 2042 about how people are like, buy a battle pass for 2042. It's broken. But for Battlefield 6, maybe I buy that because it actually works and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. But it's bizarre because, and this is another mindfuck, but it seems ridiculous to pay money for the opportunity to grind out skins that I probably wouldn't even know that I had in the first place. Also, if I'm paying for them, should I just get them all at once instead of having to generate engagement on top of the money I gave the company? I don't know. It's a bit silly, and I get it. It's also a video game thing. You want meters to fill up. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it all gets very bizarre, especially when this is all just it's all just digital. So
yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah, but it sucks. I think I remember a day when it was a viable business model to make a game with not loads of bullshit, but they were much cheaper to make back then. And yeah, I think unfortunately the scale has dictated the format. And I'm not saying that everyone has to be happy about this or accept it, but I do think there is an element of know what you're getting into. Any game made by EA, by Activision. The point is to monetize it like this, not to make, well, the developers want to make a great game for you, and I'm sure they would rather not monetize like this, but we're all caught in this shit system, man.
That's right. Fight the power. Also, one other thing I want to say that's very specific to Battlefield. These challenges give you XP to unlock weapons in Battlefield. So there's a lot of content locked behind these challenges that I think people have the right to complain about. Because if there wasn't content, if it was just skins or whatever for these challenges, who gives a fuck, right? It's all cosmetic, no big deal. But there's content in the game that I paid for locked behind a lot of XP and challenges that I can do to speed up my XP. So I understand those complaints. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. REDSEC, on the other hand, if they had separated it a little more and it was just a free-to-play and all the XP only went to the free-to-play, I wouldn't care. Because you grind it and it's free. It's no big deal. But the challenges are overlapping, and there's a lot of people have a lot of interesting points, and I hear you, and I'm hopefully people are watching from EA this episode so they could see it and be like, all right, let's change them.
Yeah, I agree. That's super valid. Class gadgets and specific weapons. Yes, it's good to have something to grind for, but ideally it's not something that actually changes the flow of any game. So
yeah, that's right. And Lawrence, you know what? EA is going to exploit you, and Activision's going to exploit you, and Microsoft's going to exploit you, but we are not. We are not going to do that. Oh wait, no, we are. We are going to do that. So it's just a fringe benefit that you get to watch the video. So thank you very much for watching. And make sure what do we want them to do? Super chat, Patreon. Just send your whole paycheck to us. Fuck it at this point.
Yeah, we need to start hitting people with the pop-up ads, telling them to subscribe. Every YouTuber does that. Damn, and it works. We should. Anyway. We are delighted to exploit you to whatever manner you allow us to. In that regard, we also have a Patreon if you want to check it out. But all of our stuff is there for free because we're really bad at exploitation. On top of that, we give away a free meme of the day. So if you like free memes, they're there in abundance. On top of that, we have some folks that do, support the show directly. We'd like to shout them out right now. Justin Wendlandt, John Sennett, Worst Donut, UESC Battleroid, and JAmbers87. Your exploitation is so sweet, and we thank you very much for allowing us to get away with it.